Now I thought I'd tell you how to get rich. I had lunch the other day with a friend of mine who's worth in the neighborhood of $200 million, a fortune which he put together from scratch. If he isn't qualified to speak on the subject, how to get rich, I don't know many people who are. So for those who feel it would be fun to get rich, here's how you go about it. To begin with, understand that you don't have to drive sharp bargains, treat people unfairly, or hurt any human being in the process of getting rich, and understand that you won't get something for nothing. What you must do, in fact, is give to every person with whom you deal more than you take from him. Now, how is this possible? Well, naturally, you can't give every person more in cash market value than you take from him, but you can and must give him more in use value than the cash value of the thing involved. For example, when you buy a good audio cassette program, you receive more in-use value by listening to the program and making it a permanent part of your library to perhaps hear again and share with the members of your family than the money you parted with in buying it. This means you're happy about the transaction, and so is the publisher and the author of the program. In fact, the messages might give you a single idea that could significantly advance your career or greatly increase your net worth, or help you enjoy life more. But if it is simply a good, enjoyable program, it has more than repaid you for its purchase price. And it's the same with your car, your clothes, your home, and education. And with the computer and other high-tech equipment at your office, you get greater use value from these things than their purchase price, and yet the people who produce these things are quite content with the profits they receive for them. So everybody gets what he wants. Now, this is a pretty basic discussion of what makes the wheels turn, but that's what we frequently need, a return to, a reminder of the basics. Now, if you want to get rich, and the word rich means something different to everyone, you have only to produce or sell a product or service that will give people greater use value than the price you charge for it. Now, how rich you get will be determined by the number of people to whom you can sell this product or service. It's here that the hardest part of getting rich comes in. You have to think. You have to find a quiet place where you can go every day and be undisturbed, and there, with a pad of paper and a pen, jot down your ideas. Look for things in which you find an intense interest, things you most love to buy, and have yourself, or want yourself. Perhaps there's something for you here, something you can do better than it's now being done. Look for ideas that trigger an emotional response in you. People vote with their money, and they'll vote for you in a minute if you'll give them greater use value for their money than they're now getting. Thinking is the one thing everyone has to do on his own. Each of us has a gold mine between his ears, that goes without saying. But digging in it is the world's hardest work, yet it will richly repay those who go to the trouble to dig in it every day. We receive what we fully expect to receive, and usually a good deal more. We become what we think about. We become successful to the extent of our true desires and determination, and we do so by building on our strong point. At what are you best? What gives you the most, the deepest satisfaction? Whatever that is can be honed to marketable proportions in some way, and applied in service to others to earn you the rewards you seek and should have and will have. And that's your part of the bargain. No one's supposed to do that for you, or hold your hand, or rush to your aid every time you slip or fall back a little. That's the earning part that falls on each of us and prepares each of us for the future. Books are filled with ideas, and ideas spur us into action. And it was in a book that I finally found the secret of success I started looking for as that boy of 12. I was 29 when I found it, but I'd been on the trail for many years. Just as a gold miner will find indications that he's looking in the right places, everything I had read up to the moment of discovery had, in a way, prepared me for the truth of what I was about to see. And one day, poking about in what was then Croc and Brentano's bookstore on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, I picked up the book, Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill. The title made sense to me. If one was to grow rich, certainly it would come about as a result of thinking. I bought the book, took it home. The following weekend, I came to the secret, spelled out and needing no further description or definition. I read the words, "We become what we think about. I found much of the book archaic, but that didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was that small book was the one I'd started looking for 17 years before. That was the book that held the secret of success. We become what we think about. Just 6 words. Now, there are more than 600,000 words in the English language, but those were the 6 I wanted to see in that particular order, and it was at that moment that I had the answer I needed. It went like this: I can determine what I think about. Therefore, I can determine what I become and what I have. Everything fell into place then, of course. People who thought about becoming lawyers became lawyers. When I was a boy in Long Beach during the Great Depression, what did the people in our neighborhood think about? To begin with, they didn't think about very much. They thought about getting by on minimums as best they could. They thought about their government relief check. They thought about shopping at a nearby store, or going to the movie at the Bijou occasionally, maybe getting an occasional odd job or even a steady job. And that was the end of it. Their lives had been mirrors of their thoughts. They had quit learning too soon. They were using the astonishing human brain and body for mundane, ordinary tasks, or for doing nothing with them at all. They were looking for ways to save money instead of earning money. We didn't ride, we walked, except for an occasional bus or streetcar ride, which I never failed to enjoy. When my trousers developed a hole in them, we didn't think of ways in which we might buy a new pair of trousers. We thought in terms of mending the hole, and the pants became what we thought about: mended pants. So did socks. The other day I received a letter from a Rabbi Stephen Rubin of Tarzana, California. With his letter were 2 talks he had delivered to his congregation. One of them was titled, "You Already Know the Secret." In his letter to me, he says, "The talk entitled You Already Know the Secret was in many ways inspired by your own messages, and I'm sure you'll recognize many of the quotations that you've used in the past." And in his talk to his congregation, the rabbi says, "Yes, I did discover the secret of success, and it led me to explore the thoughts of authors, poets, philosophers, prophets, sages, and a host of teachers of our time and ages past to discover what each of them believed about the secret of success." What I discovered, he goes on to say, was astounding. I found an abundance of wisdom as ancient as our 3,000-year-old Torah and as modern as 20th century science. To my amazement, I realized that from the Bible to the Greek philosophers, from the wisdom of Rome through medieval studies of the human condition, from Shakespeare to Milton to Emerson to the rabbis of the Talmud, each and every one had discovered an answer to the secret of success. But the most astounding discovery of all was the realization that all of them, in their own languages and in their own way, discovered the exact same secret. The universal key to success, simply put, is this: as you think, so shall you become. As you think, so shall you become.